If you're new to All Souls Church, please take a moment to click the link in the order of service and the chat for our connection card so we can stay in touch. During the service, please feel free to get up and move around or take a break from the screen as you need, but try to be as present as possible and imagine that we are all in the same room together. We are recording this service, so if you don't want to have your face on the recording, now is the time to turn off your video. Again, lower left-hand corner of the screen symbol. This morning, we welcome Reverend Megan Visser as our guest minister. Reverend Megan serves the UU congregation of Santa Clarita Valley in Southern California. For the past 10 years, she was a professor at Starr King School for the Ministry, a UU theological school. Now her community ministry continues as she works on doctoral research focused on religious and spiritual coping and coaches individual UUs in embodied somatic practices. She loves sharing worship with congregations whose spirit and values embrace joy and liberation. She lives in Hollywood, California with her wife, Stephanie, her cat, Emerson, and a dog, Violet. Welcome this morning, this day, and this opportunity to be together in community, which is a time of joy, comfort, and sometimes challenges. This Unitarian Universalist congregation is a place where we come to learn more about being human. We're not here because we've figured out life questions or because we think we've got it right. We come here to learn more about being in relationship together, how to listen, how to forgive, how to be vulnerable, and how to create trust and compassion in one another. Let us move into our service, willing to be authentic with each other, honest within ourselves, and open to connection in all its forms.
Good morning. It is so good to be with you. I'm originally from Massachusetts, and actually it was hard when I would see Braintree's name come up on the school cancellations in winter. I would know that I would have to wait till the end of the alphabet and for it to start over to get to Beverly, which is where I am from originally. So it is just delightful to be with you. And will you come closer and kindle our chalice flame and light our green sanctuary congregation candle this morning? For we are the people who choose empathy. For we are the people who recognize love. For we are people who have found belief reasonable. For we are those who have embraced the miracles of science. For we are the people who rejoice but are not yet satisfied. For we are united in kindness and mercy. We light this chalice in our brief time of simple rest, because our chalice is only a thawing station. Our faith is in the fight. We come to this place to heal, to soften next to the flame. It melts fear. Joy still exists in us. Steady flame, steady. Coat us in the light of possibility. And we follow the All Souls tradition of lighting a green candle, symbolic of our commitment to All Souls being a green sanctuary congregation. Thank you for that work. May both of these flames call us to kinship with and great care for the earth and her living creatures. Now let us join in singing to honor these flames. Rise up, O flame.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing. Show to us beauty, vision, and by thy light glowing, by thy light beauty, vision and beauty, vision and flame, by thy light glowing, by thy light beauty, vision and beauty, vision and joy.
It is fitting this Sunday that we open in prayer. God of many names, who sustains our courage and makes life worthy, beyond our words, beneath our hope. Be the breath of mercy and justice. We ask that you hold us together. We cannot hold on alone any longer. We ask that you bless our cries of lament and sacred rage. Turn us away from misery, isolation, toward love in action. We seek the grounding power of community and compassion, for we are angry and we have hope. We are fearful and we protect each other. We know sorrow and we know help. We pray for those who are spared from violence. We pray for the individual lives, our country, which is changed forever. May we find solace, sustenance, and strength grow within and among us. And as the light flickers in the flames that we kindled, bring our breath towards comfort. Turn our hands in the movement of peace. This Sunday, we dedicate ourselves to making love tangible through our caring presence. May it be so. Let us worship together. And now let us continue singing our opening hymn as saffron trees now capture fire.
Saffron trees now capture fire, and memories our hopes inspire. We'll praise imagination's grace, the human heart's best resting place. As saffron trees now capture fire, and memories our hopes inspire. We'll praise imagination's grace, the human heart's best resting place.
Some of us come today with heavy hearts, and we open our hearts to you. And some of us come in joy, and we share your joy. If you join us this morning with a joy or a sorrow or a hope or a prayer on your heart, you're invited to share it with this community so that we may hold it with you. And if you'd like to share, you can type it into the chat or come off mute. Again, you can come off mute by pressing that mute or unmute button in the lower left corner of your screen. Or if you are connecting by phone, it would be *6. Share your name with us and share briefly what's on your heart. I drop a final stone to remember and to rejoice. Now may we center ourselves in song with the hymn, There Is More Love Somewhere.
There is more love somewhere. somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
I invite you into a time of embodied meditation, first guided by words, then silence, then in music. I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. You are welcome to. If you'd like to keep them open, that is fine as well. I'd like to say that any of us who have lived to whatever age we are now is a reflection of our inherent resilience. That deeply exhaled state when we're relaxed and enlivened, that allows us to hold a positive imagination for our future. Take a moment to bring your attention to your body, your sensation, whatever is true in this moment. Let yourself come to understand when you are most alive, most present, open, and connected. Whether that's being out on a hike or a sailboat by yourself, or in the garden, or with children or grandchildren, nieces or children, other children in your life. Maybe it's just painting or journaling. Whatever it is for you, choose one specific instance that you were doing whatever that is. Maybe not just in the garden, but one particular day in the garden, putting tomatoes in last year on the first warm day. Maybe that one hike in 1983 with that best friend. As much as you can, let yourself be in that scene. Rather than watching it like a movie, let yourself see it from behind your own eyes, from inside your skin. What was the quality of the light? What were the smells? Take a moment to notice the sensations that are in your body. Does anything feel different from a moment ago? More warm or cool, a tingling, maybe some place of softening or letting go. And whatever you notice, I invite you to try to turn that up just a notch on the dial. Or depending on what generation you're from, maybe it's clicking the up arrow once. Whatever that means to you, maybe letting their sensation get a degree warmer. Or if you notice a sense of expansiveness or settling in your chest, letting that extend a bit deeper. See what it's like to dial it up. Maybe you notice it increases that feeling. Maybe it dissipates. Whatever happens is fine. Now, if we go back to neutral, I'm asking you to turn it down one notch, whatever that means to you. Maybe it lets the experience deepen or lets you settle in just a little bit more into your morning. Or maybe it feels like shutting it down or turning it off. Coming back with me to neutral, go ahead and adjust that dial to wherever you might call the sweet spot. What lets you feel most connected to that experience? What was the green of the plants in the garden light? More light green, more rich? Was the breeze warm or was there a cool underside? What would it be like to mix exactly the right color? Over your next through breaths, you can hold on to as much of that as you like. Let yourself bring your awareness back to the quality of that solitude, the excitement of the laughter of children, or what it was like to hit that next wave on your sailboat. Let yourself soak into a few moments of silence. Thank you. The work of the church cannot be done without the contributions of the community that calls it home. A link is going in the chat right now. I invite you to give what you can, when you can, now or later online, or by a check mailed to the church. And if you have not completed your pledge for the year, I have been asked to remind you to invite you to do that as well. The offering for the work of the church will be gratefully received. was so cool with the graphics. Wow, and beautiful, beautiful and cool. Wow, thank you. So this part of our service is an interactive circle called the Open Circle, which is based on the family chapel from Sacred Design Lab. And if you haven't heard of them before, I invite you to check them out, to Google them. It's co-run by a Unitarian Universalist, but it's a multi-faith team. And it's really a style of worship that might be a little different from your normal liturgy, but offers us a time to connect and share, focusing on our monthly Soul Matters theme, which we use as well in Santa Clarita, and I'm excited to be able to share this with you. And the Soul Matters theme for January is imagination. So let's begin with a reading of Lucille Clifton reading her poem, Won't You Celebrate With Me?
Won't you celebrate with me what I have shaped into a kind of life? I had no model. Born in Babylon, both non-white and woman, what did I see to be except myself? I made it up here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight my other hand. Come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed.
There is a Jewish folk story that goes something like this. One night, a man dreamt he saw a treasure buried under a bridge in a far-off city. He woke, rushed off to that far-off city to find the treasure, and in the city he found the very bridge that had appeared to him in his dream. He was sure the treasure would be somewhere under the arches. He stood on the bridge, trying not to draw attention to himself while he was scanning the cables and beams. But then he was spotted by a stranger. He decided it was best to tell the truth and propose that he and the stranger share the hidden treasure. The stranger laughed. Oh yeah, I had a dream like that once about some treasure in some far off town, buried under some guy's tiled kitchen floor. But I didn't go off running to that town, did I? The stranger scoffed. The man thought about what the stranger had said and then rushed back to his own town, down to his very own street, into his house, which looked strangely like the one with the tiled kitchen floor described by the stranger. He then began to dig in the foundation of his own house. And there, after many days and many months of digging, he uncovered the treasure he had been dreaming of. Here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight my other hand, right here in our homes, we can find treasure. Not waiting until 2022 when the pandemic is over, not after an inauguration, but here and now. Right here in our homes, we can seek out the treasure waiting to unearth itself in us. Dolly Parton famously said, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose." And the theme of this service was originally, imagine you could do it on purpose. But what is that exactly? How do we make sense of that this week? Of course, as I prepared this message originally on Monday, well, Tuesday came, and by morning, Georgians elected a Jewish man and a Black pastor to the US Senate. Black organizers worked tirelessly, accompanied by some of our own UU's multiracial activists, to do what many thought was impossible. Stacey Abrams, Latasha Brown, and their organizations and partners made an incredible political shift in this country. They fueled dreams into reality at home. No matter your political affiliation, it's something to marvel at, this energy, this activism, that feeling that, yes, this is how imaginations can be realized. Come celebrate with me. And then Wednesday brought terror. People who found out who they thought they were and got in a plane or in their car and came to the US Capitol to commit insurrection, to play out white rage. And they were handled, for the most part, with gentleness, even care. If only that the majority are alive, almost all we could consider drunk on white supremacy, and nothing tried to kill them. The man in the folk story began to dig in the foundation of his own house, but what would he find? The foundation of the US Capitol is made from the Aquia Creek sandstone, a light composite of sand and pebble-sized quartz and clay cemented with silica. And unlike other sandstones, I learned, its matrix is harder than its crystals. Its strength, its toughness comes from its unanimity, from its integration together. Yet after the Capitol building and the White House burned in 1816, the Aquia Creek sandstone revealed its defects, its cracks and imperfections. It weathered easily and lost its warm, buffed tone. So it was promptly whitewashed, painted over to mask the damage. And eventually it wasn't used in the exteriors any longer, but the inside, the walls and the columns of the rooms adjoining the rotunda, the spiral staircase, the famous cornstalk columns in the Senate vestibule, and even in the crypt. Like Langston Hughes wrote, "Who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings, in every brick and stone and every furrow turn, that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I am the one who left dark Ireland's shores and Poland's plain and England's grassy lea, and torn from black Africa's strand I came to build a homeland of the free." The free? Who said the free? Not me, surely not me. The inscription on a plaque on the east front portico of the Capitol reads, "This sandstone was originally part of the United States Capitol East Front, constructed in 1824 to 1826. It was quarried by laborers, including enslaved African Americans, and commemorates their important role in building the Capitol. The walls and the columns, the spirals and the cornstalks, built by enslaved labor. To build a homeland of the free. The free, who said the free? Not me, surely not me. The millions on relief today," Hughes continues, "the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed, and all the songs we've sung, and all the hopes we've held, and all the flags we've hung. The millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has yet been." My colleague, Reverend Monica Dobbins reminds me that our instinct in the next thing we do on purpose may be to say, this is not who we are. And yet we know at a deeper level that indeed this is very much who we are. And it is who we have always been, a country with a mean streak running right down the middle, a nation that has always been overrun by white supremacists. We cannot escape it. And if we try, we risk plotting an unconscionable escape from truth itself. And how can we find out who we are in 2021 and the body and skin and gender, the aliveness we were born into, and be that on purpose, on the land that never has been yet and is not free? Just as cabinet members cannot resign and decry at the final hour of tyranny, we cannot release the once polished sandstone like the beautiful floorboards beneath some shag carpeting, because it never has been. Do it on purpose. Okay, so together we're getting started now. In 2021, this in January, we've dug into our foundation and found lies, death, destruction, and the sandstone. But the man in the folk story didn't just dig one day or 7 days into January. He dug the whole thing up. He kept digging for days and weeks. Maybe we don't have that kind of time or energy. In the pandemic, we've got a lot at stake, a lot on our hearts. Something has already tried to kill our beloveds 100 times over. So we start now. We can look to the helpers, as the prophet Mr. Rogers says. The Senate aides who dutifully carried the cases containing the electoral votes into the chambers for certification, and those who protected the documents from being desecrated by a mob. Or Maryland Representative Jamie Raskin, who appeared in person to certify the election, just having buried his own son the day before. His chief of staff, who shielded his 2 daughters from harm by barricading them in his office. New Jersey Representative Andy Kim, who after the Capitol had been cleared, took it upon himself to pick up trash inside the rotunda. Imagination and even hope can sometimes hold us back. It's what we do now. Hope that will always risk dying in order to survive. Reverend Sean Parker Dennison writes, once we act, hope is everywhere. Once we act, hope is everywhere. I invite you to return to that place of your aliveness, that memory, that paint color, that plant, your hands in soil, your body riding over the waves. And turn up the dial once more. Let yourself rest in the peace of who you know yourself to be. Let that sensation drive you, baptize you in the strength of your own bones. And if not your bones, then your spirit whispering you home within yourself. Let your one hand hold tight to the other, as the poet Clifton said. We may be making up the next thing we do to seed the America we're making for all of us or none. Celebrate the aliveness that will buoy you, bond you in this beautiful community at All Souls, bring you to that calm presence to do it all on purpose. Let us consider that these times are asking us to slow down a little, to really be present to ourselves and to each other, to be mindful of our interconnectedness. I'm going to ask you to actually split into some smaller circles for just a couple of moments. And you'll have 1 or 2 minutes to unmute your microphone and share. Each person should speak once. No one has to share. This is by invitation, not demand. And if you want to pass, simply remain in silence. That's okay too. We'll have about 6 minutes together, and we'll let you know when you have a minute left. But here are the questions I'd like you to answer. Can you name 1 or 2 feelings and emotions that you had this week? 1 or 2 feelings or emotions. And knowing that we're all responsible to act for what happens next, what does that mean to you? We are blessed. We are blessed by being here. We are blessed by being here together. Let us sing our closing hymn, My Life Flows On in Endless Song.
My life flows on in endless song, above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails a new creation.
No storm can shake my inmost heart, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing?
Although the tempest round me roars, I know the truth it liveth. And though the darkness round me grows, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost song, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? I lift my eyes, the cloud grows thin. I see the blue above it, and day by day this pathway smooths. Since first I learned to love it, no storm can shake my inmost calm. I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?
Our benediction this morning is by Reverend Sean Parker Dennison. At this moment of ending, may there be a good word, a blessing, to help us remember what we have so often forgotten. May the message we need be gently spoken and held in the spaces in our cells, the fiber that holds all. We need to maintain our gentleness, our courage, and our hope. At this moment of ending, may the goodness we wish for ourselves and each other, this community, ecosystem, planet, and stardust galaxy become such a part of us that we cannot tell where the blessing ends and we begin. Take care of one another. Go in peace. Live in love. Be a light unto the world.
It's time for announcements. On Tuesday, January 12th, at 3:30 p.m. will be the Connection Circle, the midday meetup, again at 3:30, using the regular Zoom link for the church. Also on Tuesday, January 12th at 7 p.m., it's a Social Action and Environmental Committee discussing Naomi Klein's G.A. Ware lecture, Why We're Ready for Racial Change. And we will be starting to plan for the Social Action Committee service of January 24th. Third, sign up for the anti-racism small group and do that by Tuesday, January 12th. The group meets every 2 weeks beginning Thursday, January 14th at 6:30 p.m. Again, use the regular church link, Zoom link, and will be led by Reverend Joe. Friday the Connection Circle on Friday, January 15th will be at 10 a.m. Again, the 10 a.m. Coffee hour with the Zoom link. And Sunday, January 17th at 10:30 a.m., the Sunday service will be Expanding Our Horizons, honoring Martin Luther King Jr. Day, hosted by Reverend Joe. Those are the announcements for today. Thank you.